Hi everybody, Keith Arsenault here for HartfordHawks.com with head coach of the women's basketball team, Jen Rizzotti, getting ready to take on New Hampshire today at the Chase Family Arena. Coming off of last weekend's game against Albany, first game that went into overtime with this current group of players. What did that game do for you as a team?
Well, it was certainly disappointing at the end because we had that last, possession of the game. And whenever you have the last possession, you feel like, it's hard to come up empty and then have to go into overtime. So, and it was our first, time in overtime, and I felt like our deflation from not winning in regulation really affected our play. But, it's always the experience in our league to play everybody for the first time. And, right now we're at a point with, even with 3 losses, we're still, 8-10 points away from being undefeated. But at the same time, we've got to find ways to win down the stretch, and that's what the next 10 games is about.
One of the positives from your last 2 games was Taylor Clark against Albany and also Katie Roth last week coming up big. What does that do for your team?
Well, we need to constantly have different scoring options. It would be nice if a couple of them were on the same night instead of one at a time, but I think our team is still, on offense at least, trying to find its identity. I think defensively we've done a great job and we've proven that we can defend anybody in the league, but now we've got to find our identity on offense and figure out where our points are going to come from consistently. So I think it's good for Katie and Taylor's confidence, but now I need to see them step up as consistent scorers and not necessarily 16 points every night, but able to give us key baskets when they're open and key baskets in certain runs of the game when we need them.
Amber Bepko, 2 games back now. She's played 50 minutes so far. Is that what you saw her doing in the first 2 games back, that many minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I figured we would wait long enough until her ankle was close to 100%. So I didn't want to bring her back slowly and have her playing through pain. I wanted to bring her back when she was ready to play extended minutes. So, I think for game fitness, it was good for her to kind of have to push through being tired in the last few games, and that's going to benefit her now that she's probably got her legs under her. But yeah, she was such an important part of what we were doing. With her, it's kind of all or nothing. She's not like a spurt guy. Like, she's somebody that you want to have on the floor and can make, significant impacts the longer she's out there sometimes. So yeah, it's good to have her back in the mix, and I think as she gets her legs going and gets her confidence back, it'll be again another option for us on the offensive end that we can count on consistently.
Tonight you've got New Hampshire coming in, yet another America East game. What kind of a team do we see in New Hampshire, and how does your team match up?
Well, New Hampshire actually has played everybody close so far. So, I mean, other than, a blowout versus Albany, they have competed against everybody that's come in their gym and even on the road. They lost in overtime at Vermont. They only lost by 2 to BU. So, they've been in a lot of close games as well. So it's just not a team that you can really take lightly based on their record. They have a great shooter and scoring guard in Carrie Reed. She's one of the tops in the conference in 3-point shooting percentage. So we're going to have, another game in a row after Albany with Lindsay Lowry. We're going to have to be really focused on a great 3-point shooter. And then they have one of the better physical inside presences in Morgan Frame, and she's a handful. So not 2 kids that we can necessarily guard one-on-one. It's going to have to be a team effort. But I think more importantly, we're going to have to play well, aggressive defensively, be disruptive, and try to create a little bit of offense off our defense tonight.
All right, well, you heard it from Coach Rizzotti. Look for the Hawks to be aggressive defensively, turn that into points on the other end. We'll see how they do tonight against the New Hampshire Wildcats. But for HartfordHawks.com, I'm Keith Arsenault with head coach Jen Rizzotti.